So, yeah, you'll get to see a little bit of the behind the scenes, and I'm not going to be sad the whole time. So it'll get better. It always gets better. We just have those moments sometimes where it's like, ugh. Today's intense. Probably not my favorite day. It'll get better though. It will always get better. So I woke up this morning. It's the last time I'm doing my live event, the CEO Circle, which I have loved doing and at the same time has been really hard on my family. And we have decided as a couple that it's not what we're going to do moving forward. And today's the last one. And I woke up this morning with this huge, overwhelming feeling of failure, like hitting me across my face. And here I am, I've got to get ready to go. I've got to teach a great workshop. I've got these business owners that are flying in. I need to make this last event good for them. And I woke up with just that like feeling of, you're an imposter. You don't even know what you're doing. You're failing yourself. How can you even teach other people? And I had to, it like woke me up out of my sleep, like loud voice running through my mind. And so I got up and did a lot of processing. I'm definitely a private processor. So did a lot of processing, did a lot of journaling, and kind of tried to get to like, what's the root of this? What's going on? And truthfully, it has just been a year of like having to let go of so much stuff. So we've just been through, this has been a tough year. It's probably one of my toughest years in business. And I thought that we had had some challenging ones, but I think this one takes the cake. So 6 years ago, when I started Amy Walker Consulting, I started it with a real specific dream and vision in mind of, wanting to be able to create this company that I could run and be mostly at home and take care of my kids and be hands-on mom and still be able to, I remember thinking in the beginning, if I could just get to 6 figures, that would be amazing. And then we got there in the first year, and then we kept growing, and then we kept growing, and we kept growing. And about halfway through last year, I started to really feel some dissatisfaction, that I felt like even though I had built my business the way I wanted it to originally, I felt like it had gotten so cumbersome. And I realized I don't want this business to grow the way that it is. And so I started getting really prayerful and really focusing on what I wanted. And then I wanted more family time, and I wanted more time for faith and service in my church. And I wanted to kind of like realign myself and really get connected with Jesus. Like that's what I wanted. So I started off the year with that goal, and I don't know why, but I honestly thought it was going to be like this beautiful, smooth sailing journey, and it was going to be happy and rainbows, and it wasn't. It was sacrifice, and it was God asking me to trust a lot as he like took things away, like don't do this, don't do this, I want you to sacrifice this, I want you to sacrifice that. To the extent that like we sold my dream home. That was the house that I wanted to live in and forever, and it wasn't working for us anymore. We were driving 4 hours a day easily, sometimes 5 on a busy day, just back and forth and back and forth. When you live 30 minutes outside of town, every trip in and back is an hour. And when you have 5 different kids and they're all in different activities and they go to different schools and the schools aren't close, it was just constant driving. And so we sold our dream home. We scaled back our team. We scaled back the number of events that we were doing. And I just felt like I kept feeling like, why am I being inspired to scale back, scale back, scale back? And it wasn't until after we moved that I actually had some clarity around what comes next. So I honestly was like, okay, seriously, Heavenly Father, like, when you're done asking me to sacrifice all these things and all these dreams that I have, what's going to be left? Like, we got to support this family. What's going to be left? It was really, really scary. And so we got into the new house, and within that first week, I got the vision of how I could create what I wanted better, and how, you know, really what was happening was it felt like God was like hacking away at my dreams and my plans and my desires. And really what it was is he was hacking away at all the things that had grown inside of my business and my life that were no longer serving me well. But it's so hard to let go of them at the same time. Like, even though I know, I get it, it's taking me where I want to go, I still have these moments where I'm just like sad about it. And I think that's where this came from. This feeling of failure is just a sadness, and knowing that I'm getting ready to go in and I'm teaching them marketing, I'm teaching them sales systems, and that I can look back and I can see the areas where my marketing fell short this last year and where my sales system fell short this year. And it really, like, gosh, it seriously woke me out of a dead sleep with just this overwhelming feeling of imposter syndrome. So here's where I came to in my journaling. Came to the thought that I've had several times over the last little while, that yesterday's success is not dependent on today's challenges, and today's challenges do not determine where I go tomorrow. So everything that I've developed comes with me. Like, I know the things that I know. I know I've helped lots and lots of clients, and I know that I'm helping my own business. It's pruning and it hurts to cut back, but I know that where we're going to grow next is the right place for us to be, and it's more in alignment with ultimately what our family's goals are. And we have always been willing to make sacrifices in order to end up where we want to go. But it's so painful sometimes. So I cried a little, I grieved a little bit, and I don't think it is truly that I'm a failure. I know I'm not a failure, but it's hard to let go, because I love being in that space with my clients once I'm there. I love how deep we get to go, and yet I also know that this is not the season for me to be doing multi-day events, and that I need to be more online. I need to be more virtual and more digital, and more reach more people, but be more hands-on with my little people. So it's good, but it's sad. It's a little hard. I can't say that I've done the best job at letting go this year. I'm grateful for all of the realignment that's happened, but I may have had several crying tantrums along the way, like, why is this so hard to let go of everything that I thought I was building and my vision of what it was going to look like? And to do it with, honestly, while I was letting go of all those things, I had no idea what came next. Like, it was the first time in years that I had this like blankness. And now I'm excited about the direction, and I can see where we're going, but still it's going to be a hard couple of days, I think. I hope it's going to be good. And I really want to do a good job for the clients that are coming. We didn't even really market this event. This event is actually the leftover registrations that we couldn't quite get into the one before. And so I've only got 3 people coming. But I am going to give $1 million experience to the 3 people are coming, and I am committed to that. I am determined that it's going to be great for them. So, yeah, you'll get to see a little bit of the behind the scenes, and I'm not going to be sad the whole time. So it'll get better. It always gets better. We just have those moments sometimes where it's like, ugh. So this morning may be one of those moments, but it's going to get better. We're going to do a great job. Clients will be happy. We're going to take good care of them. I am going to love them, and I am going to educate them, and I'm going to pour myself into them. And when it's done, I'm going to be tired, and I'm going to come home, and I'm going to snuggle my babies and be at peace. I guess this is the best part. I'm going to be at peace that I absolutely gave it my best. And one of my mottos is, I'm doing my best, and my best is enough. And I really have to let that be the case, that, you know, I can look back and I can see all the things I could have, should have, would have done. But honestly, I honestly did my best to be really prayerful and to really ask, is this right for me? Is this right for me? Should I be doing this? Should I be doing that? Where is my priority? Where should my time be going? And so if I believe that, and if I'm going to allow myself to feel that, then I have got to just let it go. So that's my hard part. It's hard for me to let things go when I know that I want them. So I didn't plan to cry when I did this. I thought my crying was done, but there you have it. Just finished training for the day. It was a long but good day. You know, I am feeling better about some of the concerns that I was having when I first started the event. I wouldn't say that it's not coming up at all. It's hard to let go of things, but we've had a good first 2 days, getting a lot of content done. I love this process, which is why it's hard to say goodbye to, right? Like, I love the process of being in the mix. I love being live with the clients. I love seeing them figure out their game plans. I do one-on-ones with the people that are here as well, and we just sat down and mapped out like a brilliant idea for her course, and watching the pieces click into place for people is the part that I love to do. But I'm also being reminded of the reasons why I am not doing these next year. So you know, it's dark outside. It is 7:30 at night. I haven't had dinner. I barely saw my kids this morning. Brendan, I think, has this sixth sense where if I'm going to be gone, he wakes up in the middle of the night and comes into my room. I think it's like he just has this sense like, hey, I'll snuggle with mom now. So he's been in my room the last 2 nights, and he just kind of comes in and gives me a hug and then lays on the floor, and then after like a couple hours he gets up and is like, I'm going back to my room. So, you know, it is what it is. But I just chatted with him on the phone to kind of hear how things are going. Steven's got a meeting tonight for his church responsibilities, so the boys are putting the boys to bed, which I'm so grateful that I have good, responsible kids. But you know, it feels really right to me. And so even though it is hard to let go of what my idea was and what my vision was and the pieces that I like doing this event is reminding me of the ways that it's not the best fit. And so I think it's good. I'm excited for tomorrow. We're gonna wrap things up. We've done marketing plans and sales systems for the first 2 days, and tomorrow is leadership and helping people get their vision in place. So I'm excited for that day. That's always a good day of the event. And then I'm gonna finish and run to Latin dancing. So that is the life. So our teenagers for our church that I work with, tomorrow night our activity is they are learning how to Latin dance. So I will finish the event, I will drive over, I probably won't eat dinner, but I will be there, and we'll, you know, shake my hips a little and see if I can get some video footage, because that should be fun. And then I'm done, and this will be my last live event for quite a while. You know, it was interesting because I was talking with somebody and she's like, you know, I was presenting a program that is phasing out in conjunction with us phasing out our live events, the CEO circles. And she's like, yeah, I really want to do it in June. And I just had to say, I don't think this is going to be on the table in June. And that was an interesting experience because, you know, when I get that plan in my mind, it's hard to let go of. But I know that what I will have is going to be a better niche for what most people are needing. So I'm really excited about that. And yeah, I think that's it. It's my dark video sitting in the car, and my window needed a minute to defrost, so it's officially defrosted. So I think I'm gonna go head home. At least there won't be traffic. That's the benefit of leaving at 7:30 at night. There's no traffic in Atlanta, so that's good. It is day 3 and I'm feeling so much better. It's so funny how in your business you hit these points where it's like you just have to get the emotion out, and when that emotion is all coming out, it feels like I don't know, like so much bigger than it actually is. And then you hit the next day and all of a sudden it's like, oh, I got everything out. I feel good. I'm excited. I got perspective. So funny how that works. But I did get lunches made this morning and got to see one of the kids before I left, but the other ones were all just getting up. So today is going to be really fun. We are focusing on, we're finishing up in the morning. We got a little bit to do left with sales training. We're going to be training on presentation sales, so webinars and speaking, speak to sell model. We did all the one-on-one sales yesterday. We did the sales system, so we're close. And then we get to focus on strategic hiring and leadership. And this is one of my favorite parts because for the majority of small business owners, they're doing everything on their own, and so growth seems really overwhelming and hard to them. So they want it, but it seems really overwhelming and hard because they're looking at it through a lens of like, I've got to do the bulk of it. And when we go through strategic hiring, they start to see how they can get the best talent on their team for the most economically friendly bit. And you know, in today's gig economy, it's just easy to get good talent. So that's gonna be really fun. We also do a lot with having critical conversations, knowing how to motivate people. And my favorite part is where we get people real clear and focused on what their company values are and what their mission is, and how to clarify that to themselves and then to other people. So that part's always really beautiful. So the thing I'm really excited about though is I realized one of the things that I was sad about was not having a place to put this content that I love so much. Like I feel like some of my best stuff is in this 3-day event and not doing it anymore. I was like, you know, it's kind of like probably how an artist feels about their paintings. I don't feel that way about my paintings because my paintings could have just as easily been painted by a middle schooler, but I think it's probably the way all creators feel about their stuff, is like you want your creation to be honored. So I had an idea this morning of how I can continue to utilize the content. So that is actually probably the thing that made me the most excited today. And also, I think just those truths, you know, when we get into our emotional space and we're processing through emotion, it's almost like you have to let out all the lies. So for me, pruning, when you are pruning in your life and your business, it almost feels like a slap on the wrist, because like you couldn't manage everything that was there, and so now you had to prune. But that's not the way that pruning works. I mean, the truth behind pruning is you prune so you can make way for the right type of growth. And so I think the lies that were coming up through the emotion, that feeling of failure, was just related to that. And one other thing, the other thing I found was I was very much in that place where you're connecting your achievement with your value, and that's never gonna work because your value always exceeds what you can actually achieve. So I had my emotional day, and you know, I have learned to give myself the time to experience the emotion and then to pause it. So I think the morning of the first day, Monday morning, I was all sorts of emotional. You saw. So I was all sorts of emotional. And then Tuesday, and then I went and I did my class, and I feel like I did a really good job. And then Tuesday, I was still feeling a little bit of just the tenderness, but with some more perspective. And today I'm actually feeling pretty good. So yay. It always does get better. It always gets better. Okay, doggies, are we ready? Are you ready? Is a girl, Macy? Come here. There's a good girl, Macy. There's a good girl. You ready to go out? Yeah? All right. Put you on your leash. Oscar's is next because sometimes Oscar still has accidents after he's been in all night. Come here, baby. Oh, yuck. Oh, yuck. Yuck. I don't like the doggy slobbers. Come here. Now you can all see my messy, unfinished basement. Hi, Oscar. Hi, Oscar pups. Okay. Whoa, guys. Chill. Okay. I'm getting water. So, ow. Totally just like cut my hand, scraped it against the door when they all tried to run out. So we got Snickers off of the side of the road. He was a rescue dog. Some friends from church picked him up and then they couldn't keep him. So we brought him out. And then we got Maisie like a year later because we wanted a big dog. And she was supposed to be a lab, but she was a lab Australian Shepherd mix, and the vet was like, oh, she's gonna be really big. She's not big, she's small. And then Maisie got knocked up. She was shacking up with the dog up the road and had 7 puppies. And we found homes for all of them and then decided to keep Oscar because when you live on 10 acres, 3 dogs kind of make sense. But when you live, as we do now, in a neighborhood, 3 dogs is ridiculous. Oscar, come here. Are you stuck? They get tangled up and they get too excited, and we don't have a fence. And truthfully, it's not the first thing I want to put in. Like, we've got painting that needs to be done. We've got carpet that needs to be redone. We've got, what else? Basement's not finished, so there's just kind of a lot to do. So I don't really want to put in a fence right away, but they have been kind of naughty dogs living here. So definitely they're trying to get used to being in a neighborhood. Macy's doing really good. Snickers is like not. He's not. Oscar's in the middle. He's naughty when Snickers is naughty. But yeah, Snickers is not loving neighborhood life. Anyway, that's the animal family. Come here, guys. Come here. Come here. You want to say hi? Maisie loves the loves. It's her favorite. She just wants all the loves. It is actually really cold outside this morning. Georgia cold. Georgia cold is sweatshirt and hats, and then we shiver because we don't have actual coats on. So anyway, it ended up being a really good week. You know, it's so funny how you get so emotional. It was maybe a little PMS hormone induced as well, but I do have those moments where I just feel like it's all falling apart, everything's terrible, it's awful, and then all of a sudden, like, just keep going, get some perspective. It's like, no, actually, it's pretty good. We're really blessed. We've had great things happen in our business. In fact, actually, I'm tangled with dogs. So, actually, 3 really great things happened in our business. So, we just got a great deal training with a really large accounting firm to train their clients on how to be better business owners. And then closed a couple of really good deals for a client that I have a consulting contract with them, and we're working on their sales and marketing, and so help them close some really good deals, which is always exciting. Dogs are going crazy. They smell something. And then I feel like there was one other good thing that happened. Oh gosh, the YouTube channel is my other thing. So you know, we've been knowing for a long time that we wanted to do this, but I truthfully just didn't feel like I had the mental capacity to take anything else on. Last year, you know, just with moving and before we moved, being so busy driving kids all around, I just didn't have the time. So even though I had the idea and I wanted to do it, did not have the time. And it's been really fun. In the first week of posting daily, so the very first week we posted just 2 videos, and we were kind of just trying to figure things out. Oh, and I did post one video that my sister told me I had not finished editing, so that was, you know,
some people saw that. So anyway, for the YouTube channel, we got our first 160 subscribers in the first week of daily posting. So that was exciting. Just fun to see that you're creating something that people appreciate, and still do not have it figured out. Guys, calm down. Seriously, making me crazy. So I still don't have it figured out, but I've had a lot of fun doing it. So hopefully you're also having fun watching it. So anyway, all in all, I give it was a great week. We have a lot of blessings. I'm grateful that I get to do business. And even when it's hard and I don't love it, still is way better than doing something else. So I think that's it. Make sure, oh my gosh, these dogs are crazy. Guys, they're like, it's been raining all week, and they are so cooped up. Like, they haven't hardly been outside other than just to go quick potty and come back in. So they're a little hopped up this morning. So anyway, subscribe to the channel. Please share with your friends. Our goal is to create a really great community for entrepreneurs who are not looking for just the story of how great it is, but you know, the actual info that they need. Come on, doggies. Plus, a supportive community that understands that you want to do business, but you want to do it in a way that really works for you and your family. So subscribe, like, share with your friends, and I'm gonna sign off for today because I'm legit cold and these dogs are legit crazy. Thanks, you guys.